Hello students, welcome to the last session of crystallization. So far in the unit we have studied principles of crystallization. Then we also studied some of the important crystallizing equipments, their construction, working and applications. So now it's time to conduct some material balances over the crystallization operation and using the equations how to solve a problem to find out the yield of a crystallization process. So that is what we are going to take up in today's class. So this is the simple flow diagram. So used to show how crystallizing of a crystallization is carried out in industries. So the feed solution enters the crystallizer from one side, and inside it gets supersaturated by any one of the methods as we discussed in the previous classes. And the supersaturated solution um, will be allowed to circulate in the crystallizer. So during which the crystal formation takes place. After the crystals are grown to the required size, the mother liquor is separated from the solid crystals, and the solid crystals as a product is taken out from the bottom. So mother liquor flows out, and if there is any evaporation of the solvent, so loss of solvent in the form of vapor, so that goes out from the top. Okay, so let us assume some notations to write down the equations. If F represents the kg per hour of feed that enters the crystallization operation, then XF represents the mass fraction of solute in feed. Then V is the kg per hour of solvent evaporated. So L is the kg per hour of mother liquor taken out from the crystallizing operation. And C is assumed to be the kg per hour of crystals produced in the operation. Okay. So with these notations, let us write down the material balance equations. Also let X to be the solubility of solute at the final temperature of the operation expressed in the form of weight ratio of anhydrous solute to the solvent. Also we need to use molecular weights of anhydrous solute and the hydrated solute because the crystals that are coming out may be hydrated one or anhydrous ones. So in both the cases we need to take into account that amount of water that is going along with the solid crystals. So for that, we need to take into account the molecular weight of anhydrous solute and the molecular weight of the hydrated salt. So also assume L dash be the kg per hour of solvent is coming out of the crystallization operation in the mother liquor. So we know what is L. It is kg per hour of mother liquor being withdrawn from the crystallizer. So first let us write down overall material balance equation. So the total amount of feed that is entering here is equal to the amount of solvent evaporated plus the amount of mother liquor withdrawn plus the amount of crystals produced. So accordingly, this equation becomes F equals C plus L plus V. Write down the material balance for solvent. So solvent is present in feed initially. So this solvent gets lost in a part during the operation by evaporation. Then some solvent goes out with the mother liquor and some solvent might also go out with the crystals, that is solid crystal product in the form of hydrated water. So that also should be taken into account. So the material balance equation for solvent becomes solvent in feed equals solvent evaporated plus solvent in mother liquor plus the solvent in hydrated salts. So the solvent here equal to solvent here plus solvent here plus solvent here. So if XF is the mass fraction of solute in feed, so 1 minus XF is the mass fraction of solvent in feed. That into total amount of feed will give you amount of solvent present in feed. So simply that will be equal to V. Then L dash is the amount of solvent in the mother liquor. Then to find out the amount of solvent present in crystals, so you need to substitute this term, that is molecular weight of hydrated salt minus molecular weight of anhydrous salt divided by molecular weight of hydrated salts. So that means in 1 kg of hydrated salt, if so much water is present, then in the total amount of crystals, what is the amount of water present? Okay. So now we can rearrange this equation to get L dash on one side. So L dash is equal to F into 1 minus XF minus V minus this whole term. That is M2 minus M1 divided by M2 into C. Let us now write down the material balance for solute. So you know that solute is present in feed initially, and some of this solute goes out in the mother liquor, which is not crystallized during the operation, and most of the solute that is entering with the feed goes out in the form of crystals. So the solute in feed will be equal to solute in crystals, then solute in mother liquor. So solute in feed is obtained by multiplying F and XF. Then solute in product crystals is obtained by M1 by M2 into C plus so this whole thing into X. X is the solubility at the final temperature, means it represents the amount of solute present in 100 parts of solvent at the final exiting temperature. So then the amount of solvent into that quantity will give you the total amount of solute that is going out in the mother liquor. So here, if the crystals that are produced are anhydrous, means there is no water of hydration present in the crystals, so we don't get any hydrated crystals in the product, then you can neglect the third term on the right hand side. Okay, so the third term of the second part of the right hand side of the equation, that is M2 minus M1 by M2 into C, can be neglected. So then the equation gets reduced to the form Fxf is equal to C into M1 by M2 plus F into 1 minus Xf minus V whole thing into X. So further simplification can be done if there is no evaporation of the solvent. So if V is equal to 0, then the equation gets further reduced to the form Fxf as it is C into M1 by M2 plus F into 1 minus Xf into X. So because V is assumed to be 0. So using any of these equations according to the given situation, you can calculate the value of C, and once you get the value of C, so that gives you amount of solute crystallized, that divided by amount of solute present in the feed solution multiplied by 100 will give you the percentage yield of crystals for the given operation. So let us now practice a problem, that is solving a problem using the material balance equations. So calculate the yield of MgSO4.7H2O crystals when 1000 kg saturated solution of MgSO4 at 353 Kelvin is cooled to 303 Kelvin, assuming that 10% of water is lost by evaporation during cooling. So it is given that the process involves the production of hydrated magnesium sulfate crystals. That means the outgoing crystal product also contains a certain quantity of water. So this is produced from 1000 kg saturated solution of MgSO4 entering at 353 Kelvin, and it is cooled to 303 Kelvin to attain supersaturation. So since this is a cooling method, also it is observed that 10% of the solvent, that is water present in 100 kg saturated solution, is lost during the operation by evaporation. So as a data, they have given the solubility of MgSO4 at the initial and the final temperature of the operation. So using all this, now you are supposed to calculate the yield of the crystals in the operation. Okay, so the basis for this calculation is the amount of feed that is entering the crystallizing equipment. So 1000 kg of solution at 353 Kelvin enters the crystallizer. So F is equal to 1000 kg. XF can be calculated using the solubility data given at 353 Kelvin. So it is given that the solution enters at 353 Kelvin. So at this condition, it contains about 64.2 kg MgSO4 per 100 kg water. So the total amount according to this is 100 plus 64.2 kg. So in that 64.2 kg is MgSO4. So 64.2 divided by 164.2 will give you mass fraction of the solute present in the feed solution. So that is obtained as 0.391. So that means in 100 kg we have about 391 kg of MgSO4. So now we can get the amount of water present in the feed solution. So you can simply obtain it by 100 minus 391, that is 609. So the another way also you can use. So once you know Fx, then multiply that Fx having been subtracted from 1 with the feed amount of feed, that will give you the amount of water present in feed solution. So 1000 is F into 1 minus 0.391. The XF equals 609. So this is the amount of water present in feed. So once you get the quantity of water present in feed, so you can find out how much of it is evaporated, because it is given that 10% of the water present in feed is lost during operation by operation. So multiply 609 with the 10%, that is 10 divided by 100, will give you 60.9 kg as the evaporated solvent. So that is your V. So then X is given, that is solubility at the final temperature of the operation. So it is 40.8 kg per 100 kg water. So now let us calculate the molecular weights of anhydrous magnesium sulfate and the hydrated magnesium sulfate crystals. So write down the formula, and using the atomic weights, you know how to calculate the molecular weight of a compound. So the molecular weight is calculated as 120. Similarly, the molecular weight of MgSO4.7H2O is equal to 246. Okay. So let us now use the metal balance for solute, that is MgSO4. So since this produces hydrated crystals, and also there is an evaporation of some water during the operation, um, so we need to use equation number 4 that we have derived in the material balance part of our discussion. So the equation is like this, I hope you can remember the equation. Fxf is equal to C into M1 by M2 plus F into 1 minus Xf minus V minus M2 minus M1 by M2 into C. So that whole thing multiplied by X, the solubility at the final temperature 303 Kelvin. So substitute all the values. So you know all the other values except C. So using the equation, you can calculate the C, which is obtained as 599.7 kg, which can be rounded off to 600 kg. Okay, so 600 kg of yield is produced, that is amount of crystals are produced from the given solution. So this is the final answer, that is yield of the hydrated magnesium sulfate crystals from the given crystallization operation. Okay, so that completes your learning in crystallization. So today we performed material balances over a crystallizer, and also we used the equations of material balance to solve a simple problem. So that also you practiced in today's class. So thank you for being a part of this session. I hope you understood the various concepts. Please go through the notes to and also the YouTube links that are provided in the notes and the PPT. So, to enhance your understanding about the various concepts. So, with that, so let me take leave right now. So, in the next class, we will meet to discuss about the last unit of our course mass transfer 1, that is drive. Till then, take care.